Dr. Dick said before, we do have a race to run, laps to be completed, a winning driver to be celebrated, and that winner will come out of that group of drivers. Take a look at who's in the field and see how your favorites have done. Tim Fedewa, 4th Busch Series pole. There you see Casey Atwood. He was 5th a year ago. Ricky Craven won here from the pole back in 1991. Ron Hornaday is there. He's won here in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. So too, by the way, have others won here, not only in the trucks, but in other forms of racing. This is a veteran field in many regards, Dick.
And Jay Sauter is one of those, won in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series at New Hampshire. It is a good field. It's a very strong field this afternoon. Looking for a different winner yet again. They've never had a guy win twice here in this event so far.
13 races, 13 different winners. Riding around the speedway, that is Jason Leffler. He'll be giving us a ride. So too, Jeff Purvis. There's Dick Trickle, who'll be giving us the free ride around the Magic Mile here in New Hampshire. And P.J. Jones on board the yellow freight machine. That is the Emerald Performance Group team that also is suffering their own grief. That man, Christain Lovendahl, the team's crew chief, killed in an auto accident on Friday afternoon of a weekend ago. Christain Lovendahl was Mark Martin's nephew, but in addition to that, he was very much a part of everybody's family here in the world of NASCAR racing. And Christain Lovendahl also being remembered as he was in the invocation that you heard a short while ago. And again, on our telecast and in our prayers here today, George Church taking over as the new crew chief for that number 19 machine. Todd Bodine loves coming up here. It was interesting, he said, being from this area or from New York State, he said, I almost sometimes drive too hard here in New England trying to get to the front. Last year's winner, Elton Sawyer, and the Lysol colors starting from the 7th spot. Mike McLaughlin has a big weekend tomorrow. He and his wife Katie going to their hometown of Waterloo, New York. Their son Max being baptized tomorrow. And Randy LaJoy starting in the 4th spot as you get a good look at the basically flat New Hampshire International Speedway.
And along with that, you can see them going back and forth there, cleaning the tires, getting ready for the green flag.
This race, 200 laps, that's 211 6/10 of a mile. This track measures 1.058 miles around, and we are glad you're with us. With heavy hearts, yes, but as Adam Petty would have wanted it, we're going racing here in New Hampshire.
3 wide down into turn 1. Into turn 1.
And
trouble, turn 1.
There you see problems right off the bat.
That's Bobby Hillin has crashed. Several others involved in that incident up in turn 1.
There you see the channel lock entry right there. Glenn Allen Jr. having taken over. There's Bobby Hillin. And this is a racetrack that oftentimes brings about many, many caution flags. And as you mentioned, buddy, that 3 wide deal, and that was it. The track is not going to accommodate 3 wide regularly going into the corner.
Yeah, and Bobby Hillin has a lot of damage, and the back of the Chaffin car there torn completely out. They'll have to work on that car a lot to get it back in the race if they do it all.
See what happens again. A lot of guys get kicked out right there. The 55, that white car, that's Michael Ritch.
Looked like Michael Ritch might have got in the back of Hillin just a little bit, getting into turn 1 and turned him a little bit sideways. And when you get up there, there's nowhere to go. There's no groove up on the high side of this racetrack. Chad Chaffin hard in the wall there. Looked like Joe Bessey might have bounced off of him in the 6 car.
That blue machine, the powder blue, Glenn Allen Jr., he spins to try and avoid. And as oftentimes it happens in a hurry here at New Hampshire International Speedway. Kevin Harvick is the race leader, but the story is on pit road early in New Hampshire. Welcome back, everybody. Still under caution here at the New Hampshire International Speedway. 7 cars involved in a turn 1 tangle on the very first lap. Of course, Kevin Harvick found an opening and managed to sneak on through. Let's ride and see exactly what happens here. Jason Leffler giving us a look.
Mike Dillon in 21 there just did avoid Joe Bessey as he started down across the racetrack.
A lot of guys staying low. Boy, you saw Hillin's car kind of climbing the wall there a little bit. Larry Mack, how significant is the damage on pit road?
Well, it's pretty interesting here on Bobby Hillin's car. Started 16th. A lot of cosmetic damage, which you can live with at Loudon. But the big problem is the upper A-arm plate that the A-arm bolts to on the chassis is bent way in. Got a lot of negative camber kicked in the right front wheel, which means the top is leaned in. It has shims in there for adjustment. So what they're doing is this pretty smart move. They're taking some of the shims out to compensate for the bracket being bent. So he's going to try to get back out there. Not a very good start for Bobby Hillin. Glenn, how about on your end?
Well, Larry, I'll move down to number 55, Michael Ritch's pits, and I checked with his crew chief, Skip Eiler. We first contemplated or suspected maybe that there was contact maybe from Michael Ritch and somebody else, but that wasn't the case. There was no damage to his car. Michael did spin all the way around 360. He came in last lap, and they took on 4 tires. But they found no problems with the car. What happened, and I saw this too, I was standing right at the end of pit road down there. There was some kind of fluid or something on the racetrack because a whole bunch of cars, when they went into turn 1, they just all at once started sliding up the racetrack. So evidently, one of the cars in front of them must have dropped a little bit of fluid out there because I saw 4, 5, 6 cars heading up that way. Michael Ritch just got in it, spun around, came in, got 4 new tires. He's back out, no damage.
Sponsored by the University of Florida Gators, and there's his pit board. No one's going to mistake that for the signal for anybody else to pit. We're going to break away. Coming back in a moment.